Thank you all for coming. Before we begin the meat of the program, the heart of the program, I want to tell you that we're here to celebrate a great artist, a great filmmaker, a great photographer, a great poet, and a great human being. We wanted to start with something that may be unexpected. Abbas Kiarostami was not a film buff. He was unusual among the filmmakers I've ever met in that he almost never talked about other films. He talked about film, and his films are about what film is about. But just about a year ago, we were chatting, and he began to talk in a very animated fashion about Buster Keaton. And I thought, aha, now I get it. I mean, there are early films of his, like The Chorus, which I see the kind of Keatonian structure. And there's a film that some of you may have seen. I think I was at the first screening in Cannes. And my memory is that the audience didn't get it. They didn't get that it was funny. I think you will. It's an episode from a movie called Five. I want to thank all of those whom you'll be seeing soon who came to participate tonight, as well as those who couldn't join us tonight but are participating in spirit, like Robert De Niro, who couldn't come. To the family and friends of Abbas Kiarostami, I'm so sorry I couldn't make the memorial for Abbas because I'll be out of the country. If it was yesterday, on Monday, which is when we'd originally planned it, I could have, but it was changed to a later date. I would have loved to be able to. My deepest condolences to his family and friends. I was so looking forward to seeing him again in Tehran. Abbas's photography. Dariush, did you show up? I don't see you here yet. Well, Dariush Kanji, who's shot for so many wonderful... Ah, he is. Great. You snuck in. Another great Iranian filmmaker, someone who worked with Abbas at the very beginning of his career, someone perhaps best known in this country for his film The Runner, Amir Naderi. When someone dies, there's a time of mourning. Abbas left us 11 days ago, so our mourning has only begun, and our tears are still flowing. Our pain at the disappearance of this wonderful man has been multiplied as we've begun to learn about the horrible circumstances of his demise. He did not die of cancer, as you read in the newspapers. He went in for a simple surgery and spent the next 3.5 months hospitalized, with one surgery after another. No explanation was ever offered to him or to members of his family as to what was going on. Social media in Iran have been on fire about this since he passed away on the 4th of July, but it's only been in the last day or so that some notice was taken by Western media. There was a piece in The Guardian, but they mostly swallowed whole. Oh, he died of cancer. The story is a lot more complicated. By the way, his youngest son, Bahman, posted a message, an open letter, to Iran's Ministry of Islamic Culture and Guidance. And here's a translated excerpt from it. Over the past 3.5 months of agony over my father's hospitalization, the only thing I heard from this ministry was this. Switch that picture of a snow scene, a part of his snow series, a copy of which, a print of which the family had brought to the hospital room. Switch that picture with a picture of green mountains and waterfalls. That will lift his spirit. The phrase, the mother of idiots is always pregnant, comes to mind. Bahman continues, that's the only reaction I had from your office. I'm baffled as to why the Ministry of Health has now suddenly decided to organize hasty meetings, and they've summoned the principal doctor. They're afraid that things are heating up, and people are getting angry, and they're trying to find a scapegoat. I will not rest until I get a clear answer as to what happened to my father. In saying we want to celebrate Abbas, we want to go beyond Abbas the filmmaker, the role in which he's perhaps best known, to talk about Abbas the poet, Abbas the photographer, Abbas the carpenter, a practice whose importance he frequently emphasized, Abbas who practiced a craft I'll tell you about a little later in the program, and Abbas the human being. And in describing this as a private event, we did it to try to avoid the usual media circus, but also to be able to speak to the man whom many of us were privileged to get to know and be able to call him simply Abbas, not Mr. Kiarostami or Kiarostami. To speak of him and his work, not yet as that of a figure in history, although the last few days I keep remembering that phrase we all learn in school here about after the assassination of Lincoln, we learn, someone said, now he belongs to the ages. Abbas belongs to the ages. The thought of someone for whom the image and seeing were always of the first importance, and whose mission, I think, as an image maker was simply to help others to see, to help us to see, to teach us to see. His films, his poems, his photographs, they all share that goal. So did the filmmaking workshops he presented with undiminished energy, indeed with increasing passion in recent years, all around the world. And every time students emerged from the session saying, I came here thinking he was going to teach us about filmmaking, he taught us how to see. I have a text here by a man who edited Cahiers du Cinema for many years, named Jean-Michel. With the loss of Abbas Kiarostami, we mourn a great artist of our time, and for many of us, a very dear friend. Whoever was lucky enough to spend time with him will never forget the elegance of his voice and of his gestures and the light of his smile. He was the greatest Iranian filmmaker and the one who offered a worldwide visibility to the cinema of his country. He was also the embodiment, at its best, of the opening of the cinema planet during the last decades of the 20th century.